Good day, everyone. I'm Mr. J. Marcy Sarvida, your math teacher. For today's lesson, I am going to discuss to you about the definition of polynomial functions. So here are the objectives for our lesson. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to illustrate polynomial function, identify polynomial function, and determine the degree, the leading term, and coefficient, and the constant term of our polynomial function. So you have learned in the last module that to solve problems involving polynomials, you must follow steps to have an easy solution. So start this module by recalling your knowledge on the concept of polynomial expressions. So the word polynomial is derived from Greek words poly, which means many, and nominal, which means terms. So polynomial means many terms. So we have kinds of polynomial according to terms. So first is monomial, which is one term only, a polynomial with one term only, and we have uh, monomial, binomial, trinomial, and so on. And polynomials are composed of constant, which is the numbers, variables, which is the letters, and exponents such as 2 in x squared. The combination of numbers, variables, and exponents is called terms. So, a constant alone and a variable alone can be considered as a polynomial also. Okay? So, example, 2x cubed plus x squared plus 1. There are three terms in this expression, which is 2x cubed, x squared, and 1, where 1 is the constant, x is the variable, and 3 and 2 are the exponents. So this knowledge will help you understand the formal definition of polynomial function. So in our previous lesson, we already discussed about how to identify if the given expression is a polynomial or not. So let's call with this activity. So complete the table below. State your reason if it is not a polynomial. So we have here in the first column the expression. In the second column, identify if it is a polynomial or not. Then if it is not a polynomial, state the reason. Okay, so number 1, 10x. 10x is a polynomial or not? Okay, so 10x is a polynomial. That is a polynomial. A polynomial. Okay, number 2, x cubed minus 2 square root of 5x plus x. Okay, number 2 is not a polynomial. It is not a polynomial since the variable, okay, the variable x is inside the radical sign. Inside the radical sign. Okay? So number 3, negative 2020x. Okay, it is a polynomial. That is a polynomial. What about number 4? X raised to 2/3 plus 3x plus 1. Number 4 is not a polynomial also. Not a polynomial since the exponent is a fraction, not a whole number. So that is not a polynomial. So number 4 is not a polynomial since the exponent is a fraction. It is a polynomial if the exponent is a whole number, positive integer, okay? Positive integer lamang ang ating exponent so that it is a polynomial expression or a polynomial. If hindi siya whole number or hindi siya positive integer such as fraction, hindi siya polynomial. What about number 5? We have 1 over x squared plus 1 over x cubed plus 1 over x to the 4th power. Okay, so number 5 is not a polynomial since the variable is the denominator. Okay, the variable is denominator. The variable is the denominator. So, dapat yung variable natin ay nasa taas, hindi siya nasa baba. Pag yung variable mo ay denominator, nasa baba, hindi siya polynomial. Okay? So, number 6, pi. Okay. Pi is a polynomial. That is a polynomial. That is considered as a constant. A constant alone or a variable alone can be a polynomial also. A polynomial with one term only, which is called monomial. Okay, what about number 7? We have 3x raised to square root of 2 plus square root of 3x squared. Okay, number 7 is not. Okay, that is not a polynomial since the exponent, the exponent here is, not a positive integer. Okay, the exponent is not a positive integer. Okay, so that is not a polynomial. What about in number 8? Number 8 is x cubed plus 2x plus 1. Klarong-klaro, that is polynomial. That is polynomial. What about number 9? Negative 2x raised to negative 3 plus x cubed. Klarong-klaro, not a polynomial since the exponent is negative. Dito naman radical yung ating exponent sa number 7. The exponent is not a positive integer or the exponent is radical. Okay, palitan natin siya. The exponent is a radical number. The exponent here is, sa number 7, the exponent is a radical number. Okay. Radical number siya. So that's why it is not a polynomial. What about in number 10? 1 minus 4x squared. Okay, so that is a polynomial. Wala naman siyang nilalabag na batas. So polynomial yan yung ating number 10. So I hope na-recall ninyo kung paano malalaman kung ang isang expression ay polynomial or not. Okay? So hindi siya polynomial kapag ang kanyang variable ay nasa loob ng radical sign. Hindi rin siya polynomial kapag ang kanyang exponent ay fraction. Hindi rin siya polynomial kapag yung variable mo ay denominator. At hindi rin siya polynomial kapag hindi positive integer ang iyong exponent, such as sa number 7 na ito ay radical number ang ating exponent dito. So hindi rin siya polynomial. Then ang number 9 naman, kapag negative din ang exponent mo, hindi rin siya polynomial. So dapat positive integer siya, para positive integer dapat ang ating exponent para siya ay polynomial. At dapat yung variable na x ay wala sa loob ng radical sign. At dapat yung variable mo ay hindi denominator. Okay? So I hope that's very clear. Let's proceed to the next slide. A polynomial function is a function of the form p of x equals a sub n times x raised to n plus a sub n minus 1 times x raised to n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 times x raised to n minus 2 plus, and so on, plus a sub 1 times x plus a sub 0, wherein a sub n is not equal to 0. Okay, so dapat yung ating a sub n ay hindi equal to 0. Where n is a non-negative integer. Okay, yung n dapat ay non-negative integer siya. Kasi kapag yung n mo ay negative, hindi na yan polynomial. So, hindi rin siya polynomial function. Okay? So, dapat yung n natin dyan ay non-negative integer. Then, yung ating a sub 0, a sub 1, at a sub n are real numbers called coefficient. Okay, coefficient yan. Numbers that appear in each term. So, yung number sa kada term, ang tawag doon ay coefficient. Numerical coefficient. A sub n times x raised to n is the leading term. Okay? The leading term. A sub n is the leading coefficient. Yung coefficient ng ating leading term is the leading coefficient. And a sub 0 is the constant term. Paano mo malalaman na ang term na to ay ang ating leading term? Okay? Yung term na may pinakamalaki ang exponent, yan yung ating leading term. Okay? At ang kanyang exponent, yun yung ating degree. Okay? Later on, malalaman ninyo yun sa ating discussion. So, a sub 0 is the constant term, number without a variable. Yung nasa pinakadulo. The highest power of the variable of p of x is known as its degree. Okay? So, yung exponent ng ating leading term, yun yung ating degree. Kasi yun yung pinakamalaki na exponent sa ating polynomial function. So, p of x, kapag naka-equate siya to p of x, pwedeng y, pwedeng f of x, that is polynomial function. Pero kapag siya naman ay naka-equate to 0, that is polynomial equation. Pero kapag walang equal na symbol, yan ay polynomial expression. Okay, so I hope na na-recall ninyo yan. So, there are various types of polynomial functions based on the degree of the polynomial. The most common types are zero polynomial function. Ang kanyang degree ay 0 at ang kanyang forma ay p of x equals a times x raised to 0 equals a. So, kahit anong variable or number, kapag ang exponent ay 0, that is automatically equal to 1. Okay? Automatic yan, equal sa 1. So, magiging a na lang yan kasi ang exponent ng x ay 0 So, yan yung zero polynomial function. Ang linear polynomial function naman, ang kanyang degree ay 1 at ang kanyang forma ay p of x equals ax raised to 1 plus b or ax plus b. Kapag ang exponent ng ating variable ay 1, so no need na to write the exponent. No need na to write kapag ang kanyang exponent ay 1 lang naman. Huwag mo nang isulat yun. Automatic na yun. So, we have also quadratic polynomial function. Ang kanyang degree ay 2. So, ang kanyang forma ay p of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Yun yung quadratic polynomial function. By the way, yung p of x, pwede mo yung palitan ng f of x, pwede rin palitan ng y, depende sa'yo. So, that is a polynomial function. Then, we have also a cubic polynomial function. Ang kanyang degree naman ay 3. So, p of x equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So, yun yung cubic polynomial function. Ang quartic naman, polynomial function, ang kanyang degree ay 4. So, ang kanyang forma ay p of x equals ax to the 4th power plus bx cubed plus cx squared plus dx plus e, where a, b, c, d, and e are constant. Yun yung mga constant, mga number. Mga number yun. Okay, so other than p of x, a polynomial function can be written in different ways, like the following. So, pwede siyang, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, pwede mo siyang, yung p of x, pwede mo palitan ng f of x, pwede mo rin siyang palitan ng y. Okay? So, polynomial function yan. Pero, take for example, kapag ito ay naka-equate to 0, example, yan ay 0, yung y mo ay 0 equals an x raised to n plus an raised to 1 times x raised to n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 times x raised to n minus 2 plus and so on plus a sub 1x plus a sub 0. So ito, ang tawag dito ay polynomial equation kasi naka-equate siya sa 0. So that is polynomial equation. Sorry. Okay, polynomial equation. So that is polynomial equation. Polynomial equation yan. Okay, what if kapag wala siyang equal na symbol? Kapag wala siyang equal na symbol, yan ay polynomial expression. Yan ay polynomial expression. Okay? So ito, ang tawag dito ay polynomial function. Polynomial function. Okay, so I hope na nagets ninyo yung kaibahan ng tatlo. So we have an example here. Okay, so we have the degree. In the first column, we have the polynomial function. Then in the second column, we have the degree of the polynomial. In the third column, we have the type of function. Then in the fourth column, the leading term. And in the fifth column, we have the leading coefficient and the constant term in the last column. Okay, so number 1, y equals 8x to the fourth power minus 4x cubed plus 2x plus 22. So what is the degree of the polynomial? So madali lang tandaan kung ano yung degree o madali lang malaman kung ano yung degree ng ating polynomial. Yung pinakamalaki na exponent. So ano yung pinakamalaki na exponent dito? Yung 4. So yung ating degree ay 4. Then type of function. Polynomial, quadratic, quartic function siya. Okay? So quartic siya. Quartic. Type of function natin ay quartic. Kasi yung kanyang degree ay 4 eh. So, quartic function yan. At ang kanyang leading term ay 8x to the fourth power. Okay, 8x to the fourth power. At ang kanyang leading coefficient ay yung constant ng ating leading term, yung number 8. So, yun yung ating leading coefficient 8. And the constant term here is 22. 22. Okay, so number 2, we have y equals 3x squared plus 6x cubed plus 2x. Okay, so dito class, ang ating degree of the polynomial, yung pinakamalaki na exponent ay 3. At anong type of function siya? Cubic. Then, ano yung kanyang leading term? So, kung ano yung term na may pinakamalaki ang exponent, yun yung ating leading term. So, ito yun. Yung term na may pinakamalaki ang exponent. So, yan yung ating leading term. 6x cubed. Then, yung kanyang leading coefficient ay 6. At ano ang kanyang constant? Okay, wala siyang constant. So, wag mo nang lagyan. Wala siyang constant eh. Okay, unlike sa number 1, mayroon tayong constant. Yung number lang talaga, walang variable na kasama, which is 22. Dito sa number 2, wala siyang constant term. Mayroon tayong mga constant na katabi na mayroong kasamang variable. Pero wala talaga tayong term na constant lang. Wala. So, wag nyo nang lagyan yan kung wala siyang constant term. Okay? So, that is how you are going uh, to identify, kagaya kanina, yung sa pinakauna, malalaman mo siya kung polynomial siya o hindi. Mayroon siyang mga rules para malaman mo kung ito ay polynomial o hindi. And then we tackle about polynomial function. Then diniscuss ko sa inyo kung ano ang kaibahan ng polynomial function, polynomial equation, at saka polynomial expression. Okay, then we identify the parts of our polynomial function. The degree of the polynomial, the type of function, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term. Okay, so I hope the discussion is very clear to you. And if wala nang tanong, okay, let's proceed to our activity. So complete the table below. If the given is a polynomial function, give the degree, then the leading coefficient, and its constant term. If it is not, then just give the reason. Okay, so that is 1 to 10. Numbers 1 to 10. So identify if it is a polynomial function or not. Kapag not a polynomial function siya, hindi siya polynomial function, state the reason. Yun lang. Tapos kapag polynomial function naman siya, identify the degree, identify the leading coefficient, and identify the constant term. So write this in a one whole sheet of paper. Sagutan ninyo sa papel. Then, pakipicturean na lang ang inyong gawa, ang inyong work. Picturean nyo na lang and then upload sa ating Google Classroom. So that's all for this day. Thank you and goodbye to each and every one of you.